Today, we're diving into something that sounds a bit like science fiction, but it's happening right now. We're talking about how two global powers, China and Russia, are turning artificial intelligence into a weapon in a whole new kind of information war. And you don't just have to take my word for it. Listen to Vladimir Putin himself, who said way back in 2017, whoever becomes the leader in this sphere will become the ruler of the world. So yeah, the stakes couldn't be higher. This is way more than just a tech race. It's a fight for who gets to write the rules. Okay, so before we go any further, let's get on the same page about what information manipulation actually is. We're not talking about random fake news here. No, this is different. This is a coordinated campaign. Think of it like a military operation, but with information, all designed with a specific political goal: to cause real harm. And this is where AI comes in and just changes everything. It's not just another tool in the toolbox. It's like adding a jet engine to a go-kart. It's a massive force multiplier. It takes all the old tricks, disinformation, election meddling, and puts them on steroids. Suddenly, these campaigns are cheaper, faster, they can scale to millions, and maybe the scariest part, they can be tailored specifically to you. So yeah, welcome to the new age of propaganda. It's a digital battlefield, and the main weapon? Algorithms. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with the big question. What do they actually want? You might think China and Russia are on the same page here, but when you look at their ambitions, their endgames, well, they're playing two very different games. And you can see that difference right here. China is playing the long game. They want what they call discourse power. They're trying to build a world where their narrative is the dominant one, to secure their own stability for decades to come. Russia? They're more like the demolition crew. Their goal is to sow chaos, to break things, to erode trust in democratic systems. One is building, the other is tearing down. If you look at China's playbook, you can see it evolving in real time. They started with this idea of three warfares, a mix of psychological ops, media control, and legal maneuvering. But now they're plugging AI into that system. They call it algorithmic cognitive warfare. It's the same idea, but supercharged with algorithms and user data to target you, me, anyone with surgical precision. Russia's doctrine, on the other hand, is something they call information confrontation. The key word there is confrontation. For them, there's no real peacetime in the information space. It's a constant, never-ending conflict. The goal is to use every tech and psychological trick in the book to keep their rivals constantly guessing and on the defensive. Okay, so we have the strategies. Now let's talk about the toolkits. What are they actually working with? What kind of tech are we talking about here? And right off the bat, you see this huge capability gap. It's not even close. China is a genuine AI titan, nipping at the heels of the US for that #1 spot. Russia, well, they're lagging a lot. They're just not in the same league when it comes to building their own advanced AI from the ground up. And this chart really breaks it down. China's big strength is this fusion of state power and private companies. Plus, they have an ocean of user data to train their models. But they have an Achilles heel. They need high-end semiconductors, those little chips that are the brains of AI, and they're about 5 years behind in making their own. Russia's problems are different. They're getting hammered by sanctions, they can't get the hardware they need, and their best and brightest are leaving the country. But don't underestimate how fast China is moving. I mean, just look at this. The Chinese company DeepSeek dropped a new AI model in mid-2024, and it's already performing on par with some of the best American models. People thought it would take them years to catch up, but they're closing that gap at a shocking speed. All right, we've talked strategy, we've talked tech. Now let's see the stuff in action. What does it actually look like out in the wild? Let's start our rogues gallery with China's Spamouflage network. And this is where it gets wild. They are using AI to generate completely fake news anchors. I mean, these people do not exist. They also create fake profiles of, say, American voters online, and then use these avatars to push divisive content, targeting places like Taiwan and the US. Now, Russia's doppelganger operation plays a different game. It's all about impersonation. They create these sham news websites that look exactly like the real thing, like news sources you know and trust. Then they use AI to grab real articles, translate them, and just tweak them enough to spin a pro-Kremlin story. It's incredibly deceptive. And if you want to see China's data advantage in action, look no further than a company called Galaxy. This thing is an influence machine. It uses AI to hoover up social media data, figure out what people are thinking and feeling, and then pump out custom-made propaganda in real time. It's totally automated and terrifyingly efficient. Okay, this next one from Russia's Pravda network is something else. It's a really clever and pretty scary tactic. They have this network of over 200 fake news sites, churning out thousands of articles every single day. But here's the twist. The articles aren't for you or me. They're not trying to fool humans. They're trying to fool AI. They're intentionally polluting the internet to poison the data that AI models learn from. So how do you poison an AI? Well, it's a pretty simple four-step process. First, you just generate a fire hose of fake articles and flood the web with them. Step 2, the AI web crawlers, the things that gather data from models like ChatGPT, they come along and slurp all that junk up because they can't tell the difference. Step 3, the AI model trains on this tainted data, absorbing all the propaganda. And the final step? You ask your chatbot a question and it starts spitting that fake information back at you as if it's the gospel truth. So even though their big picture strategies are different, when you look at the day-to-day work, both China and Russia are dipping into the same AI goodie bag. They're using it for all the operational stuff, generating fake profile pics for their bot armies, creating deep fake videos and AI voiceovers, automatically translating propaganda into dozens of languages. They even use it to help write the code for their hacking tools.
Okay, so that was a lot. We've gone through strategies, tech, and real-world examples. But let's bring it all home. What does all of this actually mean for you? Why does it matter?
It really boils down to this. You've got two fundamentally different playbooks. China is sophisticated and data-driven. They're the long game player, methodically trying to shape the world's conversation to favor them. And then you have Russia, the chaos agent. They're opportunistic, experimental, and their main goal is just to muddy the waters, to make you doubt everything and everyone. And this is probably the most important thing to remember. While China is definitely ahead in terms of raw AI capability, Russia's approach, even if it's cruder, is still incredibly effective. Their high-volume, flood-the-zone-with-nonsense tactic works really well for their goal of just destroying trust. At the end of the day, both of these playbooks are a major threat to a healthy, fact-based society. Which leaves us with a pretty heavy question, right? As these AI tools get smarter, faster, and more widespread, how on earth do we protect the very idea of truth? This isn't just an academic debate anymore. This fight, it's quickly becoming the central challenge of our time.